Hello everybody, I'm Gemma Laurelle and today I will get financially naked with you so I can share how I save 80% of my income. Difficult? Australia is expensive. Do not fall for those tourist brochures which conveniently leave out the fact that you have to pay extra if you want tomato sauce with your meat pie. $1 per squeeze. There is a price to pay for living in a country where just about every animal can kill you. There is even a bigger price to pay if you're going to live in one of its capital cities. In the cities here, such as Sydney where I live, there is a significantly less chance of getting bitten by a redback spider or being hit by a kangaroo than there is in the country, but there's a price you also have to pay. If you want a chance here, not just surviving but also growing your money, then you're going to have to deal drugs. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Which brings me to the title of this chat, and how do you save 80% of your income? Is this just a clickbait title? Are you desperate for views? Are you just going to be one of those other YouTubers, Gemma? No, no, and no. What it all boils down to is not spending your time and money on people, things, and activities that are not aligned to your goal. So don't have any friends, buy only what you need, and value freedom over status. I get my hair cut once a year. Plus, being a masochist also helps because when I suffer, I weirdly feel like I'm making progress. I will show you the price list of my groceries, how much it actually costs for me to live, and we can both feel awkward as you watch the agonizing detail of how you actually save money. Because I find that living in a minimalist way is quite empowering because I'm heading towards a goal that's bigger for my own life. How to save without living with your parents, without having a sugar daddy, without having a surprise, I rent out the 3 apartments I own so I pay no rent. I wasted like 5 minutes watching that dude's video. Hello poor people, you know, the masses out there. I'm one of you. So watch my video, buy my stuff. Let me help you out of your poverty cycle with a quick tip. Anyone can do this. Rent the oceanfront mansion that you own. Ta-da! What a hack. The reason I'm about to share with you my money situation is because I wish I had someone share that with me when I was growing up. I grew up in an era that didn't have the interwebs. In fact, I grew up without electricity, so there was no online forum written by a bunch of strangers teaching me how to make money or hate on people who did. So let's get stuck into peering into how I save money. And we can both feel uncomfortable. You don't have to look into my eyes as I do this. Number 1, don't have friends. That's an exaggeration. Seriously, I think I have like 1, 2, not 1. Look, it depends on how you define your friends. For me, a friend is not somebody who encourages you to empty your wallet on crap food and drink every weekend, destroying your goals of achieving a great body and a great bank account. But let's shoot for the average friend. No conversation about friends can be had without dealing with alcohol, because friends plus alcohol equals wealth hemorrhage. Alcohol is heavily taxed here. And Aussies love to drink. But the idea of spending $20 on one cocktail, which is the average cocktail price in Sydney, just to pee it out and see no return except for a headache and memories of conversations from friends that descended into crying about life, just doesn't do it for me. Luckily, I have no interest in drinking alcohol, which saves me a lot, but it also means my friend circle is proportionately reduced. Now, you don't need me telling you the value of choosing your friends wisely, but you are likely to get judged by your current friends for deciding to no longer spend my time and money on things that don't go anywhere. Get back here and spend what puny amount of money you do earn with me on beer and hot wings. Stop being so selfish. Who else am I going to complain with? Is your friend going to pay for your kidney transplant? Or, oh no, they don't have any money either. See, nobody wins. You know, it can feel like a lonely road when you've decided that you're going to be the only one in your circle that lives according to basic needs in the pursuit of a bigger, more long-term goal like financial freedom. But the plus side is people stop asking you out to things. There is freedom in not having to say no and then listen for the mortifying silence and judgment that follows. There is a space that is created when you say no. Which brings me to point number 2. Buy what you need, not what you want. Do we truly need 10 pairs of heels? Do we even need one? Here's my shoe collection. Unless you're a model who can write their shoes, clothing, brand name handbags off on tax, these things will suck your future dreams away. You're making someone else's dreams, big business money, but it's keeping you poor. Here's where things get real. My expenses list. A quick note, this is all in Australian dollars, which means it's worth a shell on the beach and many other currencies. But for the Aussies out there, you'll be able to get the picture. Oh, now that I'm reading these details out loud, I want to leave. Here's a breakdown of my food and grocery list. These figures are averages because, for example, I don't need to buy shampoo every single month. Hence, there's a range of monthly expenses or average spend. I eat simply. I rotate my meals, I make my own coffee. Buying coffee is like a little treat if I really feel like fluff, because I love that fluff. I maximize my meals by dividing them into portions, freezing some, but otherwise cooking fresh every second day or so. I can promise you that things do get easier when you start treating food as good fuel for running your amazing bodily system instead of treating food as an emotional crutch for various moods. Oh, it's Monday. I'll just have a bit of cake to motivate myself. Oh, it's hump day. I need some chocolate to get me through. Oh, thank God it's Friday. Let's celebrate and get wasted. Also, there's nifty ways to get free food. For example, hang around the train stations, get the promo handouts, if that really excites you. Some companies are so generous to their employees. Like, I once worked in a law firm that had free unlimited breakfast and lunch ingredients like toast, milk, juice, cereal, fruit, coffee. It was incredible. The Povo mindset part of me thought, take a whole loaf of bread home, maybe make a profit on eBay. But no, I did not do that, because part of the evolving financial journey for me means reprogramming my brain so that I think differently about money and I change that scarcity mindset behavior like that. Reminds me of a law firm in Sydney has free Arnott's biscuits, like the good ones, where everyone shares, and the community thing to do is to take one little packet which has 2 biscuits in it. But even in a top law firm, you recognize the poverty upbringing mentality of people who are getting paid enough money to not do this. But this woman comes in and grabs at least 10 packets of biscuits. And when someone walked in on her, she said, "Oh, my kids love these." I have not seen or heard men do the sneaky food thing. They tend to be a lot bolder about it. In general, men are just more ballsy when it comes to taking stuff like But women, oh no, there's a whole set of rules to follow, because we can't be bold and simply take. You need reasons and to explain yourself to everyone in sight, and to make the whole thing way more demoralizing than it would have been. Ooh, work stocked up on biscuits and they got fruit. Oh, that's good. Oh, hi. How are you? Oh, good. Yeah, how are the kids? Yeah? Okay, how was the weekend? Okay, just keep talking, because I like this distraction and chat as I steal stuff and don't feel awkward like I'm depraved or something. I'd love to be a man for a day. Where you just take stuff with reckless abandon, without any shame. Oh, hi work colleague, I'm just gonna take this for home. Rona, See, this is what happens when you grow up poor and you don't change your mindset or your habits. Don't get me wrong, I recognize this because I have this in me. I think some of the craziest stuff in my head, but my other voice says,
that's the Povo you, Gemma, when you licked other people's plates as a child. Be the abundant you.
As I was saying, life basics. We as humans usually need the same things. I need food, I need a safe place to sleep, I need to keep myself healthy. I don't pay for my phone, I use my phone for work, hence tax write-off. Act rich. Ride those legal tax breaks. I sold my car years ago and live a walking distance from everything that I need. I'm going to go deeper into what I invest in that grows money in another video. Otherwise, this video will go on for hours. Now, in terms of rental prices in Sydney are, as you might have guessed, out of reach for most Australians if you're wanting to live solo. Recent figures have shown that the average Aussie earns $59,000 a year. The average weekly rental price of a Sydney city studio apartment, by studio in Australia I mean, does not mean the nice spacious studios you see on American TV shows. You know, where luxury you can reach, stretch out, you know, you can have your art studio next to you and get fancy. No, it's nothing like that. It's basically you roll out of bed and your head hits the microwave door that's bolted to the miniature bench they call a kitchen. It's $550 a week. Not including bills. It's basically the cost of hiring a dry box. So the average Aussie, if they wanted to live in a box, would pay about half their income a year on rent to someone who owns the box, who probably doesn't even live in Australia. I don't have the benefit of family, so I've been on my own for years figuring out how to maximize the accommodation costs. We are all in different boats. If you have a family that you can mooch off for low to no rent, awesome, ride that. If you have a family that I can mooch off for low to no rent, please let me know in the comments. For those of you watching who are in a similar canoe to me, who are entirely responsible for what is the biggest expense you have in the survival game, it really comes down to a few options for accommodation living in the heart of the city. Number one, Sofasurfing. There are websites for this too, just Google it and you'll see what I mean. It's free to stay, but the price of that comes in the form of discomfort and instability, along with dealing with so many random events and interruptions from your flatmates. It's not a great long-term plan. The sheer instability of packing your things and shifting homes every week or so whilst you're going to work every day trying to look professional and refreshed is insanity. So the second way of looking for accommodation is in the share housing arena to cut the rental cost down. Now this does give stability in accommodation for a longer term approach, but the challenge is coping with the random people who come and go in the share house environment. 5 people sleeping in one bedroom in an inner city Sydney apartment is not what I'm talking about here, but that goes on a lot. But that's not what I'm talking about. But I will warn you that if you do see an ad saying $125 a week in rent, you're probably going to be sleeping with a bunch of people in the room. But the annoying thing is it's more like a flatmate brings home a friend who you don't know, who gets drunk, and you walk out in the morning to see a bunch of strangers laying all over the floor or worse. I'm done with random sharemates. However, if you do team up with someone you find that you can trust and who will live in your city longer than 6 months, because heads up, Sydney is a very tourist city, so not a lot of people stay for very long, you can have a much more stable, sane experience. Between Sofasurfing and share housing, I choose option 2. But there is a halfway point in between options 1 and 2 where you share house with trusted people, but you sleep in the living room and you rent out the bedrooms. That can be a huge way of saving rent. If any of you know any other way to live cheap in Aussie capital cities, and by cities, I don't mean some darn suburb that's an hour commute away. I mean city as in city where you can walk to your job in the city. Please do share. We're all community here, and if you're able to help somebody else out here, that'll be awesome. So that's accommodation and food sorted, but you might be thinking, that's not 80%, Gemma. I put extra into my superannuation on top of my employer contribution. You're playing with pre-tax dollars here. For USA folks, superannuation is like your 401k or your Roth IRA accounts. I'm doing this because super is like the government giving you a tax break like they do for rich people. Use it. Be like the wealthy, use up all your tax breaks. Feel what it's like to have opportunities, to have choices. Smell that freedom. Should do a meditation video. And final point number 3, value freedom more than things or status. Are you living for the now or living for a future and future life you want? Blowing your money after payday is fun, but it's just not fulfilling. Growing money whilst taking care of yourself is. I'm okay living a fairly reclusive life. It saves me spending on stupid things. So this whole world shutdown thing really felt like another day in my own life. If you enjoy your own company, can happily cook for yourself, enjoy learning and making progress towards your goals in a simple, disciplined way, then join in with me. You won't be alone in doing this. I'm here. Let's eat rice together. If you want to see a video of me eating rice with you, let me know. We can share an email together. A little mukbang or even ASMR if you like. I can eat sloppily if it makes you relax. Might be fun. Final note. Your savings target doesn't have to be 80%. If you want to do 80, you really have to want it. You can do 50% or start with 10% or even start with 1%. The whole point is momentum. When you start a new habit of prosperity, it just makes you feel so much better. It is a positive effect on your mind and it's worth starting. In my upcoming videos, I'll be sharing exactly where I put my saved up money because putting it in a savings account actually loses you money. I'll explain that there too. So I'll be showing you exactly how much I earn from my investments as well, so we can be quite transparent here. I would love to know if you'd like to see a video on a particular topic, or if you have questions you'd like me to answer, please pop them in the comments below. Let's grow together.